Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm Dawn, and today I am probably finishing these journals made from the art that a friend of mine made. Her name is Laura. She is a local artist, local to me, and I will have her Instagram linked below, but here is her card you can see, and here's like a little picture on her card of her art. Super cute. I'm blocking the QR code because I know sometimes videos can be really weird if you have a QR code showing and it'll like keep popping up. So that's the only reason I'm blocking it. But if you do want to scan it, I will hold it up. But I'm not like trying to hide her info or anything. I just know sometimes like it can pop up with a link or something and it's weird. But here's her card. She made these super cute, really pretty, not my usual vibe, but I'm really loving playing with them. They're inks and stuff on like really thick paper. I'm not exactly sure the details of how she made them, but I don't really care. I'm having fun with them. She had offered them to me and I was like, okay, well, I'll buy them from you because they're art. So I bought them off her and then I'm making journals. So she knows I'm making journals. She knows I'm cutting and folding them, and that's okay. We're friends. I'm like really nervous about cutting up other people's art. So where I left, this is part 2. There's another video. If you want to see me go through, pick out the pages, and like kind of color match. Where I am now is I have folded all the pages and popped them. They're not into a signature yet. So we're going to be making signatures and binding today. I have my this is embroidery floss. It was called Friendship Bracelet Thread or Floss or whatever. I got it at Michael's a long time ago. I'm not sure I've seen it there in a while, which is a bummer because I really like it. This is embroidery floss is like 6 strands. You can kind of see in this one here that they're not connected, but this is like woven together, so it's one piece, so it doesn't like when you put your needle through it, it doesn't puncture through it as easily. So basically I'm just gonna pull out a ton of my giant paper clips, of which I have many, because I've managed to find a big box of them for sale, which was really exciting because I needed them for my classes, and now I have a lot of extra because I made like 20 packs with all the tools for my classes. And usually I use my smaller awl. See, like I saved all the pink ones for myself. I'm gonna grab, here it is. This one, my husband got this for me because it's a little bit more ergonomic. So I'm going to just stack these up. Hopefully they don't fall. Start at the top, pull these out. I'm going to decide which I like for the front and which I like for the back. And for this one, it's really hard because this is so yellow and this is so blue, and they're both really beautiful. But the pages we picked for this are really green and yellow, so I feel like we have to use yellow as the front. So that's going to be the front. This is going to be our center page we've got from this magazine. If you want to know where all these pages were pulled from, I did talk about it and show all the sources in my previous video. So go look at that. We should be able to wrap this up today, hopefully. I don't know. This was old paper I got. I don't know. I just grab paper. I go to a thrift store or an estate sale and there's like paper, and I'm going to grab that paper. So I have some weird paper. You know, letterhead that somehow ended up in a secondhand store somewhere. So I have dyed paper. I have a couple of pieces of like vintage paper, and then I have some scrapbook paper, and then I have this. I'm going to use this as my center fold, and then I'm just going to make something. And I think if this is the front, I think I want this to be the first page, so I'm going to set that aside. All right, I'm going to do this. I like the way that is going to look. And then I'm going to put this in here. 3. Four. I think I'll do the pink. 5. And heck, we'll do this. Yes. 6. 7. 8. No, 8. 9. And 10. And then because this only has a single signature in it, we are just going to line it up directly inside this cover here and just pop our paper clips right on there. I forgot what they were called for a second. Put our paper clips here, here, and here. And then I think I'm actually going to prep all of these and then go and bind them all because I think I have enough paper clips, so I might as well go for it. Okay, next we have this pile and, oh, that's gorgeous. That is gorgeous. That is the front for sure. Okay, and then for the center page, I've decided to do this really pretty feather. So I'm going to choose what I want. Ugh. They're all such pretty papers, and I feel like maybe that's kind of my fault because I coffee dyed a lot of these, or like some of them I didn't use coffee, some, you know, their colors. I will say Easter is coming up, and I've noticed the egg dyeing kits in stores already. If you are looking to dye paper colors, you can use Easter egg dye. For the first page of this, I just kind of feel like we need to go, that was the side I picked, right? We need to go with this. Yes. Okay. So that one. And then for my center, I picked this, and this has a lot of blue and gold. And it's got this orange, so I'm going to put this one next. So if you're looking to dye paper, fancy colors, you can use Easter egg dye tablets, kind of the same way you would use coffee. So I'm not going to do any kind of tutorial on that. I'm not in a space in my life, in my living space, where I am able to do a tutorial on how to dye paper, but I'm not the only person that does paper, so I think I'm gonna do, so I'm sure you can find somebody talking about how to do that. All right, so I'm gonna do this because then I want to put this green one here. I really do. It's really pretty. They look really pretty together. That, and we'll do this. Love that. And then we'll do this, and then we'll do this one, which is the one I put for the front page. These are a bit more eclectic. They have 10 to 11 pages. They have these really pretty covers. We're going to bind straight into the covers, and that's that. So yeah, if you want to do colorful dyeing, paper dyeing, you can do it with Easter egg dye. That's how I got some of these colored papers. That's what I used. When I do it, I do it in the summer. I wait till it's really, really warm and sunny, and then I do it on my clothesline. Okay, we have this or this. Somehow both of those feel upside down to me, so that's a little frustrating, but I think we're gonna do this. So that, and then I think we will just see what we have. And we will probably do this yellow as the outer piece. And then this is going to be our center fold. So we're going to go straight for the, ooh, actually, if I do that pink, we're going to go for, no, this blue. We're going to do the blue. And we're going to do this one. So yeah, I coffee dye my paper outside. Usually my kids help, and therefore I don't really record that process at all because I don't record my kids on my channel. So, plus not everything has to be, I feel like not everything has to be a video, and that's kind of how I approach my life. Let's do this bird paper. And then let's do this yellow paper. And then let's do that one. But there's a lot of good tutorials out there on dyeing paper. And they're not hard to, it's not hard to learn. It's not hard to do. It also depends. Some people dry it in the oven. I dry it on my clothesline. I like the texture that it gives the paper. I don't iron my papers most of the time. And then I find if they rip while I'm dyeing them, then I just use them for collage. I don't worry. Like, I'm not worried about making a certain amount. And I did all of that and didn't put the cover on. Right. So, that is number 3. We're making 8 journals today. I'm just going to assume that everybody watching wants to watch the process of me organizing pages, and I'm just going to do it all on camera in real time while I chat. So if you're not interested in that, then you've come to the wrong place. We're going to do the green, and I think we're going to pull... I'm not sure. So in life updates for like art stuff that I'm doing, artsy things, this is our center, bright bold colors. I am doing a lot of local workshops. I'm doing a lot of fun stuff. If you are interested in fun art stuff and you live in Illinois, check out my Linktree to see what fun stuff I am up to, because it's a lot. I'm hosting get-togethers, workshops, coffee dates. I'm doing all sorts of fun things. I'm having a good time. The people coming are having a good time. You can learn how to make a journal. You can learn how to collage. You can learn, what else am I doing? Journal making, collage making, different types of journals. That's as far as I've gotten so far, but we'll see what's next, because you never know what's next. I also do markets. I'm gearing up for market season. It seems early because it's only February somehow. But the applications start being due pretty early, so I've already filled out the applications for most of my markets, most of my art shows, and then after that, it's the farmers markets that I just haven't fully figured out yet, so it seems early, but it's not. But if you live around Illinois and you're interested in... Oh, I'm also doing a big journal retreat in June. So if you're interested in workshops, collage events, retreats, check out my Linktree. So there's that one. We're halfway done because I'm having a lot of fun putting this stuff together, and the more people that join me, the more I can do, because some of these places are like, let's try one and then, you know, see where it goes from there. And it's like, if the first one is successful or even just okay, I can do more. So let's do that. Let's have fun. Let's collage together. I want this one in the middle just because I like its vibe. And then as far as the first page, I feel like it kind of has to be this. Now we're into the papers that are double-sided and the papers that are different sizes. So we have some different sizes here. All right, so I have this. I'm going to grab this one. Yeah, grab this one. So yeah, check out what I'm doing and see if it's something that interests you, because I'm having a ton of fun and I would love for you to be having fun with me. And I would love the support. I think we need to do a color. So I think we're going to do the blue. Then we're going to do this one right about in the middle. Then we're going to do, I think, this one. This one. And I'm going to pop this closer to the top because I put the other one closer to the bottom. And then I'm going to put this piece. So these are a little more eclectic. I'm kind of pulling some of my own personal favorites from my stash, because I feel like if I'm using fancy art, then I need fancy papers, you know? Everything has to have the same kind of energy. So I'm pulling some of my favorite pieces, put the cover on. And get these on there. And then I have to grab more, which is fine because I have a bunch. They're just all pink. I like to color code things, you know, it's part of the job of making journals. Like, we're gonna ignore that just happened. It's part of the whole part of making journals is color coordinating and everything. But when I made my little toolkits for my classes, I color coordinated all my toolkits, and that was really fun too. That is the front. This is going to be our inside spread. It's a little bit pink. And then this, go the other way. It's easier to grab it from the fold part, so that's why I go this direction. This is red, but they're double-sided, so it's got the little flowers on the inside. And I'm actually I might flip that, yes. Because look at that. Or just go straight for the red on the inside. I do like that. Okay, this is going to be my first piece, and it is bright red. We're going bright red. Okay, and then we have our birds. Center page is pink. So we're going pink. So anyway, I'm having fun. I'm doing workshops. I'm meeting a lot of artsy friends. Connecting with the art community. Getting my applications in for my summer plans, my summer art plans. And I think it's going to be a really fun summer. I've got a lot kind of up my sleeve for expanding my reach. Thinking of doing some farmers markets in Kenosha. There's a very big farmers market scene there, kind of, and did I do that one at the top or okay, that one was centered. All right, I'm going to put this one all the way at the top because I like the way that looks. And then this. And then this at the bottom. So it'll be really fun, and if you follow me on Instagram, you will be able to see where I am going to be selling next. I'm also working on some opportunities beyond just what's on my Etsy, which I do have some stuff on my Etsy. But beyond that, I'm working on some opportunities for people that are not local to sort of participate in some of the art things I'm doing. Like last year, I made all those sewing themed journal kits, which I still have a few available on my Etsy if you are looking for that. That was the Kit Create collab. I might be doing something like that again this year, but maybe scaled down because there's just other stuff going on. Beautiful. Let's see. But if you're interested in kind of doing stuff along with me, but you don't live near me and can't participate in person, I will be working on kits and like craft alongs and that kind of thing. Like the reading journal ones I just did, you could get a similar paper pad, you could craft along with me, or the Kit Create collab was designed in such a way that you could purchase the same, or I mean, everything's vintage, so it's only similar, but you could purchase a similar kit and you could craft along with what I was doing. So I'll probably be doing a lot more of those because I had a lot of fun. I like this blue, and I think I'm just gonna be bold and go for it. Put the blue in there, and then so yeah, if you're enjoying my content and you're following along with me, I would love to hear from you kind of what you're enjoying most about what I'm doing, what you want to see more of, what kind of activities and stuff is what you find fun. And if you are local and you're planning on visiting any of my workshops, please let me know, because I would love to know that. I would love to hear feedback on those. I mean, I do talk to people that take the workshops, but live in the moment. But, you know, it's always nice to hear what people are thinking and what kind of things they want to see. Look at that. These are coming together pretty quickly, which is good because it is getting to be sort of the end of my day here. Making some stuff happen, being productive, getting some journals created, and having a fun time doing it. Yeah, so as far as life updates, I'm working on maybe a part 2 to the Kit Create collab. I'm working on some other opportunities to like participate sort of virtually in some of my workshops. And I'm just working on getting more regular with my posting and my, ooh, both of these are beautiful. I do feel like that feels upside down and then that feels right side up to me. And that's kind of how I'm picking, which I don't know. If you disagree, I'm sorry, I have to choose. And I'm trying not to linger on it too much because I don't want to spend the whole time trying to decide what. This is pretty, and then inside is this house, and then we have bird houses. This one's very, I might gift this one to my friend who made the art, but don't tell her, even though she's probably watching. Okay, let's do blue, and then I think the inside of this is going to be blue, so that's going to be really pretty. So anyway, I got some stuff coming, but I'm not going to announce until I've got sort of a better idea of what my own plans are for that. I don't want to busy it up too much. There we go. Do that. But it's happening, and it's going to be really fun. And if you see a journal here that you absolutely are obsessed with and you have to have, just send me a message and I'll figure out how to get that to you. You know, because I do sell on Etsy, but I'm not planning to sell these on Etsy at this point, but I'm happy to get stuff to people that love it. I didn't choose a paper for the front. I love these little baby birds. They're so cute. So I'm going to do the birds. It says, "You are my home and my adventure all at once." Pop that there. And then it says, "Attracting birds." And this is funny. I don't know why, but it's funny to me. And then this. And this. And that on top. This one I love. I love the way this came together. I love the centerfold page on this one. And I think if I was going to pick one to gift back to the artist that created the covers, it would be this one. So that's probably what will end up happening with this one. So that. Then we got all these. For binding, I feel like if I just match this blue, because she clearly used that same blue for all of the journals, if I can just match the blue, and I even have a pretty variegated blue, and I even have this blue and this blue, which are both running low, so I can empty a couple out. Yay. So I have 8, so I'm just going to like unwind this whole thing. See how many pieces I can get from it. Almost dropped the bobbin holder in the trash, which is not the plan today. Okay. And then for my string, I just measure 3 times the spine. And you can always trim it later. And then I'm just going to use that first one to measure out the rest of them. And it looks like it's a little short. So cut that, that's 3. And then I have my second spool. 4 and 5 and 6, 7. Now I'd have to double check. 2, 3, yeah, one more. Snip that. Okay. And then cut anything there that needs to be cut and cut anything over here. Okay. And we're done. And now I don't have to cut each one and measure each one every time because they're all the same. So then I'm going to put this away so I don't lose it. I'm going to put this with the other empties so I don't lose them. Okay. Alright, I have my needle stuck to a magnet. It's not on the wall, but it's on a... I don't know. It's like a little magnetic... I think it's a chalkboard, but I just use it for the magnetic part. It's this really cute little thing that's supposed to hang on the wall. This is the one for my friend that I'm going to gift back to her, I think. And I'm just going to puncture straight through 3 come back to this one. Straight through 3 hole pamphlet stitch. I think I will do just 3 holes here. And I just approximate. You can measure. I don't measure. I don't feel like I have the time to or the energy for measuring that when it's a really basic journal that's going to sell for not a lot of money. And it doesn't have to, it's not like when there's more than one signature where it has to line up. Always put my needle back on the magnet. So see how like simple your 3-hole pamphlet stitch can be, and then you just pull it super tight and double knot it, and that's it. And then I can just pull these off. I'm going to put them back in my bag so they don't get lost. So there's that is upside down. There's this journal. We're just going to glance through this one. And then after that, I'll just bind the rest, and then I'll have a flip through video. The next video I put up after this one will be the flip through of this whole collection. But look how pretty that is. And I will go through and make sure all the pages, like trim these and make sure all the pages are nice and folded flat. So that's really cute. And you got your birds and your little birdhouses. So there's the first journal. So now I'm just gonna chat and go through and bind all these. These were super fun to make. I feel like I'm gonna save these for the markets because we do a lot of the same markets, and it would be really fun. It would be a lot of fun to kind of be like, oh yes, this artist right next to me or right across from me or what, you know, whatever, is the artist that designed the covers. And I just think that would be really fun since we are friends and we are essentially collaborating on this project. So yeah, just doing a quick 3-hole pamphlet stitch, tying nice and tight, making sure I don't puncture the threads when I come through the center so everything stays tight. And if I'm ever worried about my strings not being not being tight enough, I will do what I just did, which is grab this string and pull one tail and then grab the other tail and pull it, and that way I can see if anything got hooked. Because if it is hooked, then when you pull the one tail through, it will like grab the other tail and pull it through. That. Okay. Pile these up, but not on top of my strings, which are going to get really tangled because I have 8 strings. So yeah, I'm doing this really fun event locally. I'm calling it like a collage event. It is at a coffee shop, and I'm going to get together with people with curated collage paper bundles and teach collage art activities and journaling and drink coffee at the coffee shop and just like generally have a really nice time. I found a coffee shop to do it at on the first Thursday of every month, and then I'm hoping to find some other coffee shops that maybe I have to travel a little further to so that it's more accessible for some other people. Because if I do them all like super close to me, then they'll be catering to the same group of people, you know, like I want to expand the radius of people that can access it. So even if I have to travel a little further, I'm hoping to do one every week in different locations. So I can just kind of, it's basically going to be just like a junk journal club where I bring my materials and people bring themselves, and everybody gets to like have all the fun materials because I'm able to sort of curate those material packs. So pretty excited about that. Working on getting the first one going. It's up, it's available. If you're local, come join me. And hopefully it will become a recurring thing at this coffee shop. Then aside from that, life has been pretty hectic. I'm hoping to publish videos every other day. At this point, I'm not like caught up. I'm definitely not ahead. I'd love to be able to get a little bit ahead of my filming schedule or my publishing schedule so that I'm able to, like, my son didn't have school Friday. My daughter and my son both, because they go to different schools, my daughter and my son both didn't have school Monday, so I was with the kids Friday, with one kid Friday and both kids Monday, and then my daughter got sick. Okay, so here's what I'm talking about. I'm going to interrupt myself. So if I pull this one, and then I go to pull it tight through this one, you can see that these two got hooked on each other. And now I can fix that and make sure that nothing's caught. But this is actually both on the same side now. Make sure that nothing's caught, and then I can make sure it's super tight. Anyway, my son was off Friday. My daughter and my son were both off on Monday. And then my daughter wasn't feeling well all day Monday. Actually, it was miserable. And so I kept her home on Tuesday. So I had Friday, and then Saturday, Sunday, I don't usually get to work because I'm with the kids. And then Monday, and then Tuesday. So it was 5 full days where I wasn't able to film or prepare any videos or do anything. And so I got, a little behind my schedule because typically I'll film a bunch of videos on Monday. That's kind of my goal. So at some point I will get ahead by at least a couple of videos. So if somebody gets sick, nobody will notice. I'll just have to catch up and film a few extra videos. But what I've been doing is filming my series, like my last reading journal series. I filmed that, all 4 videos in 2 days. So I'm usually able to get a couple videos done in a day. If I do too many, I lose my voice or get scratchy. Right now I'm trying to clean by making. I don't know if anybody else is like this, but I have so many craft supplies and so many papers and cute things just hanging around that my goal is kind of to clean up by making. So grab a paper pad, use the whole paper pad. If the paper pad was on the shelf, then now there's a space on the shelf to put away another paper pad. And if the paper pad wasn't on the shelf, well, now I don't have to worry about getting it to the shelf because now it's gone. It's into journals. The same as some of my stray papers, my books, the bird book was just sitting in a pile of books that I needed to put away. So I just grabbed the bird book. I didn't use all the pages in the bird book, so that's kind of the thing is now I'm do I now clean by using up the rest of the bird book? And maybe then I make a journal out of the cover of the bird book and just kind of try to process everything, because right now that feels a little bit more fun and manageable than just doing a bunch of cleaning. So if I can put a couple things away and then I can just make stuff out of a couple other things, then I'm kind of having more fun instead of forcing myself to just clean. So you might be seeing more eclectic journals, more journal series where I'm just kind of oh, yep, here's this bird book. It's got the right kind of colors. Let's just pull the pages out and let's use it. And I would love to turn that book into a bigger sized journal. There's like a weird noise that I don't know if... I doubt it can be heard through the camera, but it's like this weird humming noise that I'm like, is that my house making weird noises? But I know it's not. It's probably just one of my neighbors. I have a lot of neighbors that like to just like... All of our neighbors have leaf blowers. And I don't feel like... My husband and I are like, we don't feel like we're in a space where you need... Like, we're just in a normal, small, suburban neighborhood. Like, you don't... We both get irritated at people, like, aggressively leaf blowing because we just don't feel like it's necessary, or, like, it's really that hard to just rake the few leaves that we get. But all of our neighbors are, like, they leaf blow everything. Our one neighbor will, like, he'll clean his gutters, and then he'll leaf blow all that stuff from the gutters, like, into a pile, instead of like cleaning it from the gutters and then into a bucket. Like, my husband, he'll clean the gutters and he'll just grab a bucket and he'll put the stuff right into the bucket when he cleans the gutters. But then our neighbors like throw it all over the yard and then leaf blow it into a pile, and we're just like, it's a lot of noise. It's just a lot of noise. Which we're probably a little more sensitive to, because when we moved in here, we had a like still napping all the time young kid, and then shortly after we had another baby, so we're like, all the noise that happens during the day feels like a lot of noise, because we've always had kids that were like sleeping. We're like, okay, the kids are sleeping, thanks for doing the leaf blower right next to our house, you know, right next to, it's next to their house, but it's also next to our window. Anyway, that's a ramble. I'm pretty sure somebody's leaf blowing next door, and I'm in the basement, so it's not that loud, but it's still loud. So these journals are, I'm not sure what I'll call them. I might call them like abstract art journals, because my friend Laura, who made the covers, primarily does like abstract art, and I'm not sure I'd describe these. I'm not sure how you would describe these. They're like ink art. She said she just had fun making them years ago, and then that's the whole story. There's not like a big story behind them. But I'm loving them. Look how pretty that is. Love it. So this is the last one. We're binding this, and then that's where we will end for the day. And I will go through and I will make sure everything has been creased and folded nicely, and I will probably put my signature in them somewhere, because that's what you're supposed to do. And then I will show them in a flip through video. I usually try to aim for flip through Fridays, but I don't think that's going to happen this week because I'm kind of a little bit behind. And hopefully after this series of videos, my next video will be like a more informative announcement video of updates and like things that I'm going to be doing, because I have some projects that are almost ready to be announced, are almost ready to be public, but I have to get a couple last details together before I can announce them. So be on the lookout for an announcement video coming up to see what I'm up to. And then we can all have fun doing journals and collages and art together. So here is the final journal. Pull these out. And then I'll show you, I've just been piling them off camera in a big pile like this. So delicious looking. Love that. So now I'm just going to go through and make sure everything's folded up and ready to go. Thank you all for watching. I hope you come back to see the final flip throughs of all these. And if you're liking watching my videos, please leave a comment. Please subscribe. the more attention my videos get, the more chance I have of pushing through to get more and more people to watch. And this is how I'm trying to make a business out of this. So I appreciate if you like and follow and subscribe, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye, everyone.